Hey everyone! This video is going to explain the homework assignments listed in the Week 1 module. So underneath this tab, you will see several subtabs, each one listing a homework item for this week. The first subtab says to read chapters 1 and 2. Now, if you have gone through the lessons in the Week 1 module on the Introduction to Writing and the 4 bases in the writing process, then you have already covered the material in chapters 1 and 2, so you don't need to read super closely. I don't want you taking notes or underlining or highlighting or anything like that. Just read through the chapter. Just look it over to help reinforce the material that was presented in the PowerPoints and video lessons. You will notice, if you haven't looked already in the textbook, that each chapter, it does provide useful information that you read, like paragraphs, of information, but the majority of each chapter is actually practice activities. So that's a really useful tool for you to make sure that you're understanding the concepts presented in each lesson. But I don't want you feeling like you have to just spend a ton of time looking over each chapter. I want it to really be more of a review for you. Okay, so do that with chapters 1 and 2. The next item that you'll see is Week 1 Assignment 1, Outlining and Paragraph Content. So there are 3 tasks to this assignment. Task 1 is asking you to identify the general idea. So basically, one key to doing a good outline is to look through all of your pre-writing that you did and figure out what are the main ideas and what are my supporting examples. What you're doing in this part of the assignment is you are given a list of supporting ideas. These are the supporting examples. Which option is the general idea of that paragraph based on those specific ideas? And there is an example on page 41 that you can look at to get you started if you're a little unsure of this. So the example on page 41, the specific ideas that are given, these are supporting examples: a runny nose, coughing, sneezing, and a sore throat. If those are the supporting examples, what is the main idea, the main point that we're looking at here? Not the topic of the paragraph, just our first main idea of the paragraph. Well, is it cold symptoms, or throat problems? Well, we can see that, the main idea that we're looking at is not throat problems, because the specific ideas, the supporting examples, mention more than just throat problems. And we know that it's probably not symptoms in general, because symptoms in general, that's a wide topic, right? And we know we need to be more focused and more specific. So it's probably cold symptoms. The first idea we're going to discuss in this paragraph is cold symptoms. And what specific examples are we going to give for cold symptoms? We're going to talk about a runny nose, coughing, sneezing, and sore throat. Okay, so that's what you're trying to do in task 1. There are 4 examples of this, 4 groups. So for each one, you're given a list of specific ideas, and then you're given 3 choices to decide what the general idea is for that set of specific ideas, right? Task 2 is the same thing, same concept, except now you're not given any choices to figure out what the general idea is. You have to state what the general idea is based off of the specific ideas. So take what you did in task 1 and use that same logic but now you write out what you think the general idea is. Okay? That's all you have to do. Then for task 3, you are then going to differentiate between the general idea and the supporting ideas. You are given a topic sentence here. Implementing year-round school would benefit society. And then you're given a list of sentences that would go into that paragraph. And then beneath that list of sentences is an outline. So you'll see A, and then points 1 and 2 under A, B, points 1 and 2 under B, and C, points 1 and 2 under C. So go through that list of sentences and figure out which 3 sentences are the main ideas of this paragraph, and then which of the sentences that are left go with each main idea. So whatever your first main idea is that you're going to type on line A, what other 2 sentences go with that idea? And then type those on A1 and A2, and so on and so forth. Don't make it harder than it has to be. Just think, I know what the topic sentence is. I have this list of sentences. Now, which 3 are the main ideas that support that topic sentence, and which of the other sentences go with each of those 3 main ideas? There is an example you can go back to in the previous PowerPoint, or in the PowerPoint on the 4 bases and the writing process. It goes over the scratch outline. And I took all that information from a paragraph from chapter 1, right? So you can refer back to that to kind of get the idea of what I'm talking about, except now we have full sentences to work with, not just ideas jotted down on the outline. So choose from those sentences and figure out which ones are the main ideas and which ones are the supporting ideas. And then you're done with week 1 assignment 1. You will do it in a Word document and then upload it and submit it. The next item for homework is week 1 assignment 2, pre-writing and the rhetorical situation. So now we are going to utilize some of those pre-writing techniques and talk about the rhetorical situation. If you remember, we talked about the rhetorical situation in the PowerPoint on the Introduction to Writing, Chapter 1. So for this assignment, I want you to pretend as though you're going to write a paragraph. We are not actually writing the paragraph at this point. You're just thinking about writing a paragraph. And the general idea for the paragraph is how to make a choice. So you get to choose what the choice is. For example, it could be you're going to be explaining to someone how to choose a spouse, or how to choose a school, how to choose a car, how to choose a cell phone, something like that. So your paragraph is explaining to the readers how to choose a blank. You decide what you're going to put in the blank. Once you have decided what choice you want to write about, the first thing I want you to do is free writing. So I want you to set a timer for yourself and type for 10 to 15 minutes nonstop, even if you go off topic. So for instance, if you decided I want to write about how to choose a new cell phone, I'm going to be explaining to my readers how they should go about choosing a new cell phone. Set a timer for yourself and type for 10 minutes straight at least on everything you can think of on what you should do when choosing a new cell phone. Even if it gets crazy and you go wildly off topic, just keep going. Okay? Once you're finished with that, you move on to task 2. Task 2 is now outlining. So look over your free writing and see if you can figure out, I want to talk about how to choose a new cell phone. So through all of my pre-writing, all of my free writing, what were the 3 big things that I talked about, that I wrote about, that someone should do when choosing a new cell phone. So now I have my topic, create your topic sentence. And it's okay if it's not perfect. We're going to work more with topic sentences next week. But try your best, whatever that topic is, whatever you chose to write about. And then what's your first main idea and 2 supporting ideas to go with it? What's your second one and 2 examples to help support that? And then the third one. And see if you can even give a concluding sentence. To see if you can do it. That's it. That's all you have to do for task 2 is just take the information from your free writing and decide what your topic sentence is and what your main ideas and supporting ideas are going to be. If you can't come up with the supporting details yet, that's okay. If all you have is just your topic sentence and your 3 main ideas, that's a start. Okay? And that's it for task 2. Task 3 then asks you to think about the rhetorical situation. So you're asked to write this paragraph about how to choose a blank. You've decided to do how to choose a new cell phone. You did your free writing. You did your outline. Now I want you to address the rhetorical situation. And it can be in list form, just like it is on the assignment instructions. What's your topic? Just list it. Specific, focused topic. What's your angle? Remember, your angle is what are you bringing to it that's different or unique or fresh. And then the next item, the next point on the list is what's your purpose? What do you want your reader to walk away with? What are you hoping the final outcome is? And then who is your audience? Tell me that real briefly. And then context, we're talking about tone. Remember, what type of tone would you want to use if you were writing this paragraph? What would be appropriate and what would help you achieve your purpose? These are not long answers, okay? And it's literally just a list. Topic, boom. Angle, boom. Purpose, boom. Audience, boom. Tone, boom. And then you're done, okay? You're going to type it up in a Word document and submit it. Don't make any of this harder than it has to be. You are not actually writing the paragraph at this point. You're just doing the pre-writing. You're going to free write. You're doing the outlining. And you're telling me about the rhetorical situation. That's it, okay? If you have any questions about it, let me know. And then the last item for homework in week 1 is the week 1 discussion. And the week 1 discussion is called Introduce Yourself. So let's get to know each other a little bit. I know this pretty standard week 1 discussion material here. So I have 2 questions for you to answer. The first is, what are a few things you'd like us to know about you? You can tell us where you're from, what your family and home life are like, anything about your current job, just anything you want to share with us so that we know a little bit about you. And then the second question I want you to answer is, if you could host a talk show, who would your first 3 guests be and why? It can be famous or not famous. It can be living or deceased. There's no rules here. Just who would your first 3 guests be and why? That's what you're going to post your answers to those 2 questions. You're going to post your response to those questions, hopefully by Thursday night at 11:59 p.m. And then you will respond to 2 of your classmates by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Remember, the discussions close on Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. and I am not allowed to reopen them. So once it closes, that's it. So please do your best to have your initial response and respond to 2 classmates up on the discussion board before Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. If you have any questions or any technical difficulties with it, please let me know right away. But that's the homework for week 1. I know this is a longer video. They typically won't be this long, but since this was week 1, I really wanted to make sure I went through each assignment in detail. If you have any questions about the assignments or any technical difficulties, let me know. But remember, if you're struggling to understand the concepts, the material, go back through the PowerPoint and the video lessons first, see if that helps. And if you're still struggling, then reach out to me and I will give you some additional support and discuss some things in more detail with you. Otherwise, good luck on everything, and I cannot wait to read how you guys introduce yourselves on the discussion forum.